Well, while you're in quarantine, why don't you guys have some fun changing up your looks? Because that's exactly what JoJo Siwa is doing. Now, this is the first time she has literally let down her hair, but this time she really had the internet shook when she did her Wipe It Down challenge on TikTok. Now, for people who don't know what the challenge is, it's literally taking like a cleaner to the mirror, wiping it down, and then transforming it into a different look. And for JoJo, that was letting go of her ponytail, her big bow, the sequins, and literally just enjoying the all-natural waves. People could not take this. I felt like they were like, who is this person? What does this mean? What did you think of her long locks?
It's beautiful. You know, sometimes you can't see JoJo with all the glitter and the ponytail and all of that going on. But I was like, wow, this is her when she wakes up in the morning before she goes to bed. I really enjoyed seeing it. Something I did take note of, though, Denny, is when most people do the Wipe It Down challenge, they go back to their self before, you know, so they're like JoJo before she wipes down, then she's normal JoJo. She's supposed to go back to regular JoJo, but she didn't. So that had a lot of people wondering, you know, she turned 17 today.
Right.
Does this mean we're going to get a new look from JoJo?
That's something I've constantly asked myself when it comes to JoJo Siwa, because she has such a specific look, and some would make the argument that it's very young, you know? So how long can she be dressing like this with the bows and the glitter and all of this, even though it's so her, right? Like it's 100% JoJo. She's built a brand around this kind of, you know, physical appearance. And it's something that I've actually asked JoJo when she visited the download earlier this past year.
I don't have an agenda.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a book that says, you know, this is what my life is going to be. This is my plan. I just kind of live my life, and like my mom and I were just talking how it's kind of getting to the point where, you know, we have to decide like what do we want to do next. And everything's just been so natural, and everything has just worked out. And like we don't like to say everything just works out, but it really just all has come. All the opportunities that have come to me have been amazing and incredible, and I want it to keep flowing like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So she's gonna vibe it out is what I got from that. Okay.
Well, she said that when she did the whole hair let down before, I think it was late April, she basically told fans that in a TikTok, she said, I've been hated on for years for dressing young and childish. People think that this is me changing. Nope, I love who I am. This is just me at night or in the morning.
Another person who has transformed during quarantine, and it's unrecognizable, is Jersey Shore star DJ Pauly D. Now, he has been growing what they're calling a quarantine beard, and he gave fans a glimpse of it in the past couple weeks. Like the stubble started to grow. Well, now it's a full-on beard, but in addition to that, he also is putting on hats, not putting in hair gel, not blowing out his hair, and he's a different person.
I said, who is this man?
Yeah.
First of all, he has a gorgeous tan right now. The beard, Denny, have you ever heard of the saying that a beard is like makeup for men?
Yes, I actually have. It changed my look.
I had to, well, I mean, you're always Denny.
This is new from this year.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I went back and looked at Pauly D's past photos when he didn't have a beard. And it's a huge difference. Like the sex appeal has definitely grown.
Like, I know he was leaning into that character, you know. We met him like that when he first appeared on Jersey Shore, you know, and both of them, they're all about that Guido lifestyle, you know. He blows out his gym tan laundry, GTL. That was a thing on the show. Right. But see this like kind of more laid back, masculine look. I'm like, okay, Pauly,
wait till we get out of quarantine.
I'm speechless, but what's his catchphrase on the show? Yeah, buddy. That's okay. I was like, yeah, buddy, I'm here for it. And I think a lot of fans are hoping he keeps it based on the reaction. I think so. All right, let's get into this next thing because, you know, this week, Billboard announced the Hot 100 list. And number one is Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande's single, their charity single, Stuck With You. Now, it hit number one, but not without a little controversy. It actually ignited a feud with rapper 6ix9ine. And it all started when he went on a rant earlier this weekend about early projections of the Billboard Hot 100. And he claimed that Billboard was playing favorites, and he suggested that Bieber and Grande's teams manipulated the charts.
Yeah.
He went as far as to
bought the number one spot.
Right. He went as far to claim that they maxed out 6 credit cards for the single, purchasing the single in the 11th hour to secure that number one spot. And it's been a lot of back and forth with even Ariana kind of speaking out on it.
Yeah, she was really classy with her response. She basically was just saying, you should be grateful. I have had a number of hits on the Billboard Hot 100 that didn't make it to number one. You're number 3. She didn't say his name either.
No, she did. But she said number 3. Yeah,
but she said, you're number 3. Be grateful for that.
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting, Denny, that this is a conversation that is being had more and more often nowadays. In January, it was between Roddy Ricch and Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
So Justin Bieber had Yummy. Roddy Ricch's The Box was number 1. Justin Bieber literally went on Instagram and told his fans how to stream his music to make it number 1. And hip hop fans were pissed. They were like, you just don't do that.
Yeah.
And Selena Gomez ended up doing that with her album Rare against Roddy Ricch's album. And it ended up becoming number 1. And she said, she begged her fans basically, I don't want to say begged, because she pleaded. She said, you know, this album means a lot to me and it will mean a lot if it becomes number 1. And her fans,
sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, see, I feel like it's a little subjective in the sense that she's using her platform. She has a huge following, a lot of fans, countless fans. And, you know, you're promoting your work. You're like, please download, you're linking, like it's all this stuff. But you're right. It is a conversation that has popped up often lately in the music industry. Besides that recent example, I remember Nicki Minaj. She went on a rant on Twitter and later on Ellen talking about how her album Queen debuted at number 2 under Travis Scott's Astroworld. And she called out Travis for using Kylie to promote the record and also promoting tour bundles, which is like if you purchased a ticket to my show, then you also get a copy of the album. And that apparently, according to Nicki, counted towards the stream count and for the album sales. So she just felt like it was unfair. And so, yeah, like artists are really temperamental when it comes to how Billboard counts, you know, streams and downloads and album sales. But it's also one of those things where like a rapper like 6ix9ine cares so much because stuff like the Grammys and the Billboard charts, it legitimizes an artist, you know, and this is a huge comeback single for him. And I do also want to make a point that he later addressed Ariana's post and tried to explain that his frustrations weren't with her, they're with Billboard, and he was speaking for the countless kids who grew up from nothing. And he, I will say he got a little shady when he was playing clips of like
he did of Ariana
versus Ari and Victoria's.
But that shows you that it's bigger than this. It's kind of coming from ego too, because he spoke about how he's the king of Instagram and he's going to show people that it's just a lot clouding this whole conversation. But I did really love Ariana's clapback.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very classy.
And it's something she rarely does. And I feel like she felt like she needed to actually speak on this and defend herself because as she put it, and I think hopefully this was an oversight on 6ix9ine's part, but he only singled her out. He never mentioned Justin Bieber when he was calling out the single, but I think he was just like, so pent up and was trying to get his point across that it didn't matter who the artist was. It was just like how it was, you know.
Well, when you get your point across, you got to have all the facts, honey. You got to have
exactly. Well, speaking of having all the facts, you know, there's rumors swirling about Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox, and those are now put to rest. Brian Austin Green confirmed on his podcast that he and his wife of 10 years, Megan Fox, have split. And now this comes after Megan was actually spotted hanging out with Machine Gun Kelly, something that he also addressed head on. Let's take a look.
She met this guy Coulson on set on this film she's working on. I've never met him. Goes by Machine Gun Kelly. I've never met him, but you know, Megan and I have talked about him, and they're friends at this point. And from what she's expressed, he's a really just nice, genuine guy.
I know you had a lot of thoughts about this, Melissa. These two have been together for a long time, and they actually filed for divorce back in 2015 and never went through with it. They actually got back together. They, of course, share 3 kids. And Brian revealed that they've actually been apart since December of last year. and it's now just coming up and he's confirming it. But just the way he addressed it and even talked about the Machine Gun Kelly rumors was really, I don't know, like a pleasant surprise to me. How about you?
It was. I think reading this, because I read the article about it, it just reminded me how hard breakups really are.
Yeah.
And I admired him he had one statement that he said on the podcast. He said, I was upset and shocked about it because Megan came back from filming the movie and said that she felt better when she was away. She felt like she was more of herself. And she basically was saying, I'm ready to end this.
Yeah.
He said that he was shocked and upset about it, but he can't be upset at her because she didn't ask to feel that way. It wasn't a choice she made. That was the way she honestly felt.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, if people can really respect each other's emotions like that, especially in a relationship, and just say, okay, he posted a photo of a butterfly on his Instagram. And he said, sometimes butterflies get bored and they're ready to fly away to go off into new ventures. So if he could respect her enough to let her be her and not try to form her into who he thinks she should be or who he thinks the relationship should be, I just gained a lot of respect from how he moved on from this situation, or how he's trying to move on from this situation.
And I'm sure it can't be easy. There's so much history between them, right? And again, they started a family together. They share 3 kids. But I feel like when you're together with someone for that long, for 10 years, you know, you're either in it or you're not. Yeah. And I'm sure it wasn't an impulsive decision. Clearly, it was something that they talked about. And I think that was key there is the communication. So there's clarity. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yo, he is taking the high road, though. I mean, he did say as of now they're just friends. But that is love, right? And he said that too. He's like, I'm always gonna love her. She's always gonna love me. And you know, he says, from what I heard, Machine Gun Kelly's a genuine guy, and I trust her judgment. And so, I mean, this is textbook on how to, like, you know, split empathy, right? I feel like we've been talking a lot about Chrissy Teigen lately on the show, but we had to bring this one up because this had me sent. You know, she is the author of Cravings, her cookbook. She has that Cravings Target line with all that cookware. She's been bundling up these freebies, which in our world are called PR boxes, and a lot of people send them out to their famous friends, some fans, influencers, just to hawk the product. Well, apparently she sent up some Cravings PR boxes to her friends, but not everyone got one. So much, in fact, that she had to go to her Instagram story to tell those friends, stop asking for a free PR box, and literally was like, you're literally rich. So I don't know why. I don't have the budget.
Well, that made me ask the question, Denny, and I'm going to ask you, are you the friend that if your friend comes out with a new line or a product, are you the friend that will buy just to support, or are you the friend that expects something for free?
I don't expect anything for free. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
And
there are some people like that.
No, there are.
I'm your friend. You got to give me a free shirt. You have to give me a free.
I don't expect perks at all. Not from even my closest friends or family. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, of course I would support them and buy it too. Free stuff is great, but that's what kills me a little bit is that, like, I feel like famous people get free stuff all the time. And to go as far as to be texting Chrissy, as she said, and be like, oh, my PR box didn't show up. Is it on Twitter? Like, the nerve.
I think it's more so about the idea of getting a gift. You know, you don't necessarily know what's in the package. Right. You didn't have to go buy it yourself. So maybe that's what they love about it.
That, and like, I think everyone's probably cooped up at home and cooking a lot more than they used to. Yeah. So you could use some Cravings like stuff, you know what I mean? But also, I just love Chrissy for keeping it real, as she always does, and really calling them out. I mean, she's I'm assuming among them who gets, I mean, she gets the Kardashian PR boxes all the time, but to go as far as to be like, you're literally rich, like, stop asking me for a free box. I'm like, this is why you're my favorite person. Like, right. This is the celeb I want to have a drink with.
This is why we all love her. And we all love her because she, you know, she always has to put a little bit of shade in whatever she's cooking. She threw a little bit of shade towards Allison Roman for her comments that she made about people running a content farm for Chrissy. She said, I know it may look like everything is easy, but I promise it's not. You know, they're running a little ship here.
Yeah.
And she said, maybe that comes from someone putting in your head that we're just a content farm with endless money and just got so big so fast, but I promise it didn't. So she had to throw something in there.
She's got the truth bombs. Okay, that's why I need Chrissy Teigen to give a commencement address on one of these virtual graduations.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing, Denny.
In the meantime, maybe she can surprise a fan with a video shout out, because that's what a lot of celebs are doing lately in quarantine. Most recently, Courteney Cox, she actually surprised a super fan who threw a Friends themed bar mitzvah. Take a look.
Hi there.
Oh my gosh.
Hello. I was really touched by your story. So since you couldn't have your bar mitzvah the way you wanted, I decided to get you a foosball table, just like the one in Joey and Chandler's apartment.
Thank you so much.
I'm jealous of that little kid. I'm not
He's
gonna
the
lie.
cutest. He's so obsessed. He said, I'm obsessed. He loves them.
That's so amazing of Courtney. You remember she also surprised someone from the Vlog Squad, one of David Dobrik's friends, like for her birthday, who was a friend super fan. She just showed up at the house like to help her, to wish her a happy birthday. And
it's so amazing. I mean, this little boy is 13 years old. Yeah. So he was born after the finale of Friends. So the fact that Friends still can catch any age group, any generation, it just shows how great the show really is.
And especially when you're a fan, like, can you imagine just all of a sudden like that person popping up? But Mel, imagine getting a special message from a celeb who rarely does this, who's rarely out in public, who's not even on social media. I'm talking about Brad Pitt. He actually surprised Missouri State University grads with a very heartwarming message in honor of their commencement.
Hi everyone, Brad here from Quarantine with a shout out to the graduating class of Missouri State University. Yeah. Must be very strange doing this in these trying times, but no, we're rooting for you. Our money's on you to make this world a better place, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. So, you did it. You made it. Enjoy, congrats again, and think big.
I can't believe that is an A-lister, okay? Hollywood royalty. Who is someone that you would want a surprise, like, viral video message from?
Okay, I thought long and hard about this because I didn't want my answer to be boring, but I still think that it is boring, but it's truthful. I want Chris Cuomo.
Oh, okay.
Chris Cuomo is like, I've just, have feelings towards him now. I know he's great. I respect their relationship and everything like that. But as you know, I'm quarantining with my parents and CNN is their favorite channel. So 9 p.m. every night, I'm sitting watching Chris and I just would love to get some motivation from Chris.
I don't blame you. The Cuomos are literally in the top 5 of breakout stars of quarantine, right next to Carol Baskin and the Tiger King. You know what I'm saying? And that they coined that term Cuomo-sexual for a reason. Everyone's vibing them right now. That's actually really good.
You just feel safe. He knows the right thing to say. Every word that comes out of his mouth means something.
With his 4 biceps, yeah.
I love it. What about you?
Mine might be a little more obvious, but think about it. I would want a message from someone who rarely does this. She pops up out of nowhere. She never plans it. You never know where she's going to be. I need to hear from Beyonce. I need to know how her quarantine's going. I need encouragement, words of wisdom, like I said, this time in quarantine, my moods, they're swinging, okay? It's highs and lows, and she would really uplift me, okay? I need to hear her soft, velvety voice, okay?
Yes, I was trying to do a Beyonce impression for you.
Oh, do it.
Jenny, I've just been thinking about you lately. I know that you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. Was that good?
Good. Thank you so much, Mel. Thank you for my day.
You can't get a Beyonce video, at least you got an impression.
There you go. I love it. Now I'm going to listen to the Savage remix just in honor.
Yes.
All right, well, that does it for ET Live at Home today. Mel, thank you so much for joining me as always. We'll be back tomorrow, you guys, with a brand new one. See you then.
Bye.